Wow. Well, we're really happy that you're here. I'm Nan Ketchum. I am actually, I teach in the Dallas area, but I am the enrollment management coordinator for the nursing school. Kyle Kyron, your pre-nursing coordinator that has his office here on campus, is out today. He had a little procedure and he is out today. So Andrea Shepard and I are going to welcome you. Andrea lives here in the Waco area, and we'll talk a little bit about ourselves in a couple of minutes, but we are really glad you are here. And we want you to know that truly the School of Nursing really believes in holistic nursing. And so we also believe if you're going to be a holistic nurse and care for people, both their physical beings and their social and emotional beings and their spiritual beings, then we want to care for you the same way. So each and every one of you have been prayed for before you got here. As we were looking at applications coming in and people, the list of people that were putting in their deposits, and I've been watching as y'all start to enroll, you have a whole group of faculty that have been praying for your journeys here. And we are so excited that we get to share this orientation time with you guys today. So we're going to give our little speech. We're going to start a little bit early because we know we were supposed to have 40, and we already have a little bit more than that. And that will give you a little bit of time to ask questions. So before we get started, Andrew, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about what you teach and about why you're a nurse.
Exactly, sure. So my name is Dr. Shepard, Andrea Shepard, Andrea. I've been called everything in the book, and I respond to anything close. Anyhow, so I am originally from the East Coast. I'm from Virginia, lived in Maryland for some time, and I'm actually fairly new to Waco and actually new to Baylor, but we have become very acclimated with the Baylor family because my husband also works in athletics with the football team and women's tennis. So we are very, well versed here in Waco. So I have my Doctor of Nursing Practice degree, and I'm actually a family nurse practitioner. I got my Bachelor of Science of Nursing at University of Virginia. Specialty in nursing was critical care, so I worked in the ICU, all the different specialties in ICU for quite some time. And what originally pushed me to get my undergrad degree in nursing is my family was full of healthcare, or a lot of nursing assistants. I was a first-generation college student. And in our high school, we had a nursing assistant program, and I was not so sure about that, but I was kind of interested in nursing, so I said, well, let me just kind of dip my toe in the water and let's see how that goes. So I did the class, was a nursing assistant at the age of 16, and my gosh, my mind was blown, and just my interactions that I've had with my residents and the nurses, that's what pushed me to go to nursing school. I just had some experiences that I felt like our patients or our residents deserved more than what they were being given, and I wanted to help be that change, and that's why I went into nursing school. And then from there, just full-blown knew I wanted to have more autonomy and help diagnose and treat and make more of a difference, and that's why I went on to get my graduate degree, my DNP in nursing. And so I was in a cohort, our first cohort of BSN to DNP at University of Maryland, and Baylor also has that program. So if you you want to be a nurse practitioner, this is the very beginning for you, right? Sorry, parents, I know more schooling for your kids, but this is the very beginning for you. And if you want to be a nurse practitioner, you no longer have to make that pit stop and get your master's degree. You can have a year or so of nursing experience and jump into one of those BSN and DNP programs. Baylor, come see me. And go from there. And so speaking of that, I am actually a primary faculty for the graduate program. So I teach the doctoral nursing students in the family nurse practitioner realm. But because I have the luxury of living here in Waco, I teach that new students experience course that you all will be enrolling in. I have a few sections And I have another colleague with a very similar background. She also lives here in Waco. She will also be teaching that course as well, Dr. Vogelaar. However, we are very happy to have you, and welcome, welcome, welcome.
So Dr. Vogelaar is a Baylor alum. She got her bachelor's at Baylor, and Dr. Melissa Nethery is also one of the faculty, and she's also a Baylor alum. And then Monica Mullins, the director of our student services in Dallas, teaches one of those classes. So you guys are part of the largest freshman class Baylor's ever had. You're also part of the largest pre-nursing class that Baylor has ever had. So we are very excited that you're here, and we really look forward to you getting a chance to explore through orientation this week, this orientation session, line camp, convocation in August. Everything will start really happening really quickly. But we're very excited. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Kyle, again, he didn't put a picture on here for me, but he teaches the Nursing 1101 class in the spring. And you will see Kyle much more often than you see me. He is here on campus. His office is actually moving from the science building to Sid Richardson. His office will be 241. He actually moved last Friday. I'm not sure about his phone number. I think he's got his card up here. I think his phone number goes with him. But his office is 241. And while he's not your official advisor for right now, he will be when you become a pre-nursing 2. But if anybody is on an accelerated program or you've got a lot of dual credit, Kyle wants to meet with you this summer or early fall, either on the phone or in person, to really look at your schedule and help make sure that we keep you on track, particularly if you're going to try to come to Dallas in 3 semesters instead of 4. I'm Nan Ketchum, and like I've already said, I work with enrollment management, but I also teach courses in Dallas. I teach the leadership course to our seniors in both the traditional and in our accelerated online distance BSN program. And I teach population health. And I have to say, I am an old nurse. I started out in adult critical care and moved to high-risk OB and did labor and delivery critical care. And then my master's is in nursing administration. I've done a lot of management, but I have a dual major in informatics. So I have worked in helping us build systems that are helpful to make us more productive and really have the ability to provide safer care. But absolutely my favorite area that I teach is the population health. I was a home care nurse for many years, and I really have a passion for the vulnerable populations, the underserved. I serve at 2 clinics, volunteer at 2 clinics, and then I work with the homeless. And so my students, we work with I've gone from newborns to geriatrics over my career, and really love that vulnerable population. So I get to teach you guys as seniors. And we have a message from Dr. Linda Plank.
Hello, new nursing students. My name is Linda Plank, and I'm the Dean of the Louise Harrington School of Nursing. I, too, was a pre-nursing major on the Waco campus for 2 years before coming to the nursing school. Baylor nursing students have been splitting their time between the 2 campuses since 1950, when we started a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. While at the nursing school, I worked at Baylor Hospital, which is right across the street from our nursing school. It was no surprise that I took my first job as an RN at Baylor Hospital. My time in Waco seemed to go by very fast, as did my 2 years in nursing school. Then I stayed at Baylor Hospital for the next 33 years before returning to my alma mater to teach in 2009. I had been serving as interim dean since July 2020, but as of May 1st, 2021, I am honored to be the dean of our nursing school. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and alumni of the Louise Harrington School of Nursing, I want to welcome you to Baylor University. We love it when our parents are able to attend events with their students. I often say that we have the best nursing students in the world because they have the best parents in the world. So enjoy your time in Waco, and we look forward to seeing you here in Dallas very soon.
Okay, Dean Plank, another alum. You'll find that we have faculty that have loved the school. We probably have about 25% of our faculty that are Baylor alum, and various ages. My age and down. So people come back, and that's what we love about Baylor, is we want you to come back. Okay, let's talk about nursing at Baylor. So a BSN program is a 4-year program, and you're going to spend your first 2 years here on the Waco campus. So 4 semesters generally. And in that 2 years, you're going to have 59 hours of prerequisite credit. All of this is on our website. So don't worry if you don't get this today. Don't be overwhelmed with it. You're also going to get this lecture again in your new student experience class, and every time you go to an advisor, we're going to work on keeping you on track. During your sophomore year, you're going to actually apply to the School of Nursing. So in our state, the Board of Nursing, our practice is legislated by rules and regulations from the Board of Nursing, and one of the things that you have to do is apply to nursing school. So there are a list of requirements that the Board of Nursing has for actual nursing course programs, and applying and criminal background screening, and all of that is the reason that you don't just move from Waco to Dallas. You have to go through the application process. Then you come and you are 2 years in Dallas. So 4 semesters are 65 hours. Did you see how 4 semesters in Waco were only 59 hours and 4 semesters in Dallas is 65? You have a lot more hours, but all of your time in Dallas is very structured. It's a cohort style. You come in, every level 1, J1 student is taking exactly the same courses. Then you do level 2, then you do level 3, then you do level 4, and then you become my peer and not my student. And that's an exciting day for me. I cried every penny, every single one. So if you don't do penning for your parents, come do penning for your faculty, because we need you to do that. That's our way of introducing you into the profession of nursing, and we're very proud of you at penning and graduation. We also have an accelerated January start. That's for students that are going to be here on the Waco campus for 3 semesters, and they start in January. Our January class tends to be a smaller class. We just don't fill it up the way that we do our fall class. So if you're coming in with a lot of dual credit or AP credit, or you're taking summer classes and you want to move to Dallas in January, we want to help you be on that track, but make sure you make an appointment with Kyle. And my card and Kyle's card are up here on the front for you to pick up, so that we can kind of put you on the radar and keep you on track. We also have 2 accelerated nursing programs. Our Fastback program is, both of these programs are for people that already have a degree. So parents, if you've been thinking about going into nursing and you just didn't want to do it while you were raising your kids, they're going to college now. Now's the time to come back to nursing school. So you could be taking your prerequisites and do a 12-month accelerated program. The Fastback program is hybrid. and it is half online and half on campus in Dallas. And then the Distance Accelerated program is an online with precepted clinical for the state of Texas, really helping us reach the rural areas where there's not enough nurses. So I've used the word prerequisite several times. What does that mean? These are the courses you have to have completed before you come to nursing school. So you have to have 4 sciences. We require microbiology, anatomy, and physiology 1 and 2, and an intro to chemistry class. Generally, you take your chemistry class first. Some of you probably already had chemistry, may have already had AP chemistry, and you may take A&P or micro first. At Baylor, every student takes English 1310 and 2310. You're a big class, so if you have already had English as dual credit, you're going to probably receive your dual credit English and not take the 1310 class. 2310 is a writing class, and then we have 1 English literature elective. So you might take British Lit, Women in Literature, lots of different options for you in your literature elective. Baylor has a political science course that's a government constitutional-based course called 1387. We require 1 course, and all of our freshmen take that course. We have 2 religion courses, Old Testament and a New Testament course, Christian Scriptures and Heritage, and then you get to pick a history course. We have one that we would like for you to take, but if that one isn't available, you have several that you can choose from. We require nutrition, not just because Baylor requires nutrition, but because the state of Texas requires that you have nutrition, and most every other state requires that you have nutrition, and you could not pass our licensure exam without a nutrition class. So, having said that, your science classes, your nutrition, your statistics, your psychology classes, don't go in and just memorize that for a test. You're going to bring that to Dallas with you, because you're going to use that information your whole career as a nurse. And we want you to have that, go into learning as a freshman knowing that these are things I'm going to carry on to my profession long term. I tell my students that when they're in the skills lab in Dallas, you don't get to learn to take blood pressures as a junior first semester student, and then you get to your senior year and say, oh, I learned that my junior year. I don't need to do that anymore. That's the whole mindset I want you to have. You've got to have that micro and that A&P and chemistry background and nutrition and psychology to carry that through what you will be using as tools in your new profession. We have 2 psychology courses. One is just an intro to psychology, and the second one is a developmental psychology. That just means it's psychology across the lifespan. And that course is also required by the state of Texas, not just Baylor. Intro to sociology course, and then you as a nursing student get to choose. You can either choose foreign language, which means at Baylor you have to have 2 semesters or second semester equivalent. So let's say you've had 3 years of high school Spanish, and you take the exam over in the testing center, to the placement exam, foreign language placement exam, and you test out of the first semester. Then you only need 1 semester of foreign language. But you can't test out of Spanish and then go take German one. It has to be the same language. Or if foreign language isn't where you feel like you excel, you can have a choice of taking 1 communication class, and that's like professional speaking. There's some journalism classes, dealing with the media, those kinds of courses in communication, and 1 fine arts. Now, fine arts are your appreciation classes, theater appreciation, art appreciation, music appreciation, those types of courses. If you are anybody in band, Okay, so your band people, or orchestra, those kinds of things, those would also count as a 3-hour fine arts class. So, but if you're like me, I love to sing. I apologize to the people sitting in front of me in church because that's not where God gifted me, but I love it. And so it just says make a joyful noise, and I do. So you don't have to be a musician to take the music appreciation, for example. Now, I want you to meet your science faculty. Dr. DeMesa is also a faculty in residence in Coconut. Anybody living in Coconut? Coconut dorm? Okay. She's faculty in residence there. We do have some nursing students over there, and that means that she is there. Her apartment is there. She has Sunday dinners or lunches, Bible studies, all those kinds of things. So, but her daughter, Kristen, is a graduate of our nursing program as well. So here is Dr. DeMesa, the chemistry professor.
Hi guys, I am Dr. Marisol DeMesa, and I would like to welcome you to the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. I am going to be your professor for Chemistry 1300, and in behalf of Baylor University, the School of Nursing, and the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, I welcome you, and I look forward to seeing you, meeting you all this coming fall semester. God bless you. Bye.
Students, welcome to Baylor University. My name is Dr. Jonathan Lawson, and I teach Bio 1302, which is Intro to Microbiology. And I've been asked to just say a couple of words about why microbiology is important, which after a global pandemic and hopefully towards the tail end of a global pandemic, seems like a little bit of a silly question. But I would argue that even in the absence of the COVID-19 pandemic, that microbiology and the knowledge and skills that you gain in this course are translatable and are used daily in nursing practice. And so, while I'm biased, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong. That microbiology is incredibly important as you transition to nursing school. So I'm very proud that you're here and that you're embarking on this very challenging and noble journey towards becoming a nurse. And once again, I may be biased, but not necessarily wrong, that I think there's no better place to do that than here at Baylor University. So welcome to Baylor, and I look forward to seeing you all on campus.
Okay, so Dr. Lawson may be biased, but not necessarily wrong. If you look over in the corner, he too is a Baylor grad. So he has been teaching microbiology with us for several years now, and I think that you will really enjoy that class and the lab that's associated with it. And he is absolutely right with COVID and the pandemic. Who thought we would have to tell people to wash their hands? I mean, honestly, how many? But we've really kind of increased awareness, and more people know that how germs are spread than they ever did. So that's a good thing. I'm going to try to get Dr. Mark Taylor. Dr. Mark Taylor teaches both sections A&P1 and A&P2. Here at Baylor, you don't need to take them in order, so please don't panic if your advisor advises you to take A&P2 before A&P1, because there's a lot of people that take A&P, and they want to make sure you get a seat and stay on track rather than having to wait a whole semester. And we don't want you to have to take two classes at the same time. That would be overwhelming. So we want to reassure you up front that it does not have to be sequential. You need to hear that from the nursing folks, that it doesn't have to be sequential. So let's see if I can get Dr. Taylor.
Hello, my name is Mark Taylor, and I teach Biology 2401 and 2402, the Human Anatomy and Physiology courses for nursing and other allied health students. Biology 2401 and 2402 cover the structure and function of organs and the human body's 11 organ systems, And learning this information is crucial for success in health-related professional schools. In these courses, you must learn many terms and develop a working understanding of various biological concepts. And a major factor contributing to one's success is daily preparation. Staying up to date, completing assignments, attending supplemental instruction sessions, which are led by a former student who made a high A in the course, and asking questions in lecture, lab, and during my numerous office hours each week can greatly increase the likelihood of making good grades. I look forward to interacting with you in my classes, and I will do my best to help you succeed. If your goal is to become a nurse or other allied health professional, it is my goal to help you learn things about the human body that will be highly relevant to your professional school studies. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Now, Dr. Taylor comes up to Dallas and attends your pinning ceremony. He will contact us to let us know how things are going. He works with our Student Nurses Association. He participates in events with them as well. And he had, last semester, had 17, well, not COVID, we didn't have real in-person office hours. Pre-COVID, he had 17 office hours a week. And I would go by his office when I was on campus, and there would be people, 2 or 3 people sitting outside the door and a couple of people in at his desk. And I said to the nursing students that I knew, I said, why are you sitting outside the door? They said, well, I got my questions answered, but I want to see what other people are asking to see if maybe I might learn something by just listening. So there's little pods of people sitting outside his office door. So when you take A&P, if you need help, reach out to him. Okay. Now, these are the rules, and these are the kinds of things we hate to have to talk about, but we want you to know up front that your study habits now are important, because they're going to be important for you to move to Dallas, and they're going to be important for you when you're ready to go to graduate school. So we look at, when you come to Dallas, we have 3 different GPAs that we look at. The first GPA is your prerequisite GPA, and that's calculated on the 59 hours that you take of those prerequisite classes. One of those is your nursing, the new student experience class, Nursing 1101. It doesn't make any difference where you took those hours. So let's say you had 12 hours of AP credit or dual credit, and you brought those grades over. Those are going to calculate into your prerequisite GPA. They don't have to just be Baylor courses in that GPA calculation. Your science GPA is only calculated on the 4 science classes that we require. We have students that start out pre-med or pre-dental or something else, and they take other science courses. The only science GPA we're looking at are your micro, your 2 AP, and your chemistry class. And lastly, we look at the Baylor cumulative GPA. That's the official Baylor GPA. Those are only courses that you earned at Baylor. That's calculated on your transcript. So when you look at your transcript, or even in your Navigate, when you look and see what your GPA is, it's only going to show you your cumulative GPA for courses that have been taken at Baylor. Now we'll talk about, to be eligible to come to the nursing school, for your prerequisite, all of your courses, you have to have a 3.0 or higher GPA. For your science, it's a 2.75. So 1C is not going to kick you out of coming to nursing, but 2 C's might be hard to recover. So you want to really pay attention to your grades. Why do we have such a lower cumulative GPA than we have for our prerequisite or our science GPA? That's because you might not have started out in nursing. I started out in accounting. God did not call me to be an accountant. And my GPA, it would have hurt me to get into a program because I wasn't in my calling. And we believe nursing's a calling. So One of the reasons we have these rules, we ran data for almost 10 years about the students that once you got to Dallas were successful and then successful at taking and passing your licensure exam. And your prerequisite GPA and your science GPA were the two highest indicators of you being able to be successful when you come to nursing school. Now, we're a Christian university and we want you to follow your calling, but we also want to be good stewards of your time and your finances. And if you're not, if there's a high probability that you wouldn't be successful when you came to Dallas, we don't want you to make that change and lose even more time. So that's the rationale, and people always say, 2.5, are you kidding? Well, if you're in accounting and you weren't supposed to be, then there's some grace. So we want to have grace as well. Another rule is that pre-nursing students can repeat a prerequisite course one time. So let's say that you take your A&P class 1 and you make a C-. A C- doesn't transfer, that you have to have a C or higher for nursing. So you make a C- and you repeat that class and you make another C-, then that's going to eliminate you from being able to move forward in the nursing major because you can only repeat that class one time. You make the C-, you take it again, you make a B+, you're good to go. That's one class that you've repeated. You can also repeat up to 2 prerequisites. So let's say, you took Christian scripture and you thought that was going to be an easy class. So you didn't do all the reading for it and you took that first test and you made an F on that first test and you couldn't recover, you made a D+ for the course. Well, you can repeat that class one more time, get a C or higher, and you're still good to go. But if you go to statistics and you don't study for statistics and you make a C- in statistics, you can't repeat a 3rd class. So that would put you out of the major. And we would help you find another major that you'd be interested in pursuing. So you can repeat a class once, you can repeat a prerequisite up to 2 times, and you have to make a C or higher. Now, what about I want to raise my GPA? And Professor Ketchum, I made 2 C's, and I really want to make, in English, and I really want to raise those to A's or B's. Can I do that? The university allows you to do that with dean's permission, but the School of Nursing and the School of Business and several other schools do not allow that in their major. So you can't repeat a class just to get a higher grade. You have to, if you make a C, you made your C, pass, go on. Now, what about transfer credits? Particularly dual credits. Many high schools, if you make a C in your dual credit class, they give you a B on your high school transcript. Anybody in that situation? Baylor's going to get that C. Baylor's not going to get that B. Baylor's going to get what your dual credit, your college transcript takes. So let's say you took English and you made a C. Probably you don't want to bring that in as transfer credit. You probably want to take that class again because you're not repeating it for a higher grade at Baylor. Now, once you start at Baylor, you can bring in up to 15 hours while you're a Baylor student. Before you start in August, if anybody taking summer classes at Baylor, okay, so you're already a Baylor student. So once you start at Baylor, you can only bring in 15 hours. Before you start at Baylor, you can bring in as many hours as you want. I know that I've talked to one student that's bringing in 30 hours already. I couldn't have done that in high school. I just wasn't, I don't know if I wasn't smart enough or wasn't motivated enough, but I couldn't have done that. So just keep in mind that if you're bringing in C's, that might be beneficial for you to take that course here and not bring that course in as transfer credit. Whoops, I went too fast. Let me see. And, no, there we go. The other things that might disqualify you from a major is if you exceed the maximum number of semesters in each level. So every one of you are, when you came to Baylor, you registered for pre-nursing, you're a pre-nursing 1 student. Doesn't matter how many hours you have, you're pre-nursing 1. Why am I pre-nursing 1? I've got 30 hours. Because you haven't met all the requirements that we'll talk about in a minute, and your new student experience class is one of those. You can be in each level pre-nursing 1 for 3 semesters. So if you have a little hiccup, have a health problem, family emergency, something like that, you can be in pre-nursing 1 for 3 semesters, and then you must qualify to move to pre-nursing 2, and you can be in pre-nursing 2 for 3 semesters. If you exceed that number, then you need to change your major, because we can't have you taking 4 years in Waco and then come into Dallas. We talked about the course requirements already. Now, the only other thing, you apply to the nursing school, you get conditional acceptance, but then when you finally get your final grades, instead of having a 3.0 in your prerequisites, you have a 3.9, a 2.9. That would not be high enough to come to Dallas. That's the only other thing that would keep you from being able to come to Dallas. Once you've been eligible for pre-nursing, then you're really not eligible to come into any of the programs. So you say, okay, well, I'm just going to get a degree in psychology and then I'll be FastBack. It still eliminates you from coming into any of the accelerated programs as well. Now, the new student nursing experience, 1101, all of you are going to take that course. And it really helps you build community, but it also helps you find out, what does a nurse do? And we would rather you find out your very first semester that this is not my calling than to take multiple classes. So do not be afraid. If you get into courses and you think this is wrong, that's why we're here. Speaking from the person that changed their major 7 times. Hey, I was a first generation student and I didn't have anybody that advised me. I mean, nobody I knew went to college. And so they said, oh, we're having an accounting major. Oh, that sounds good. I want to do that. And we're having this major. But I'm going to be a teacher. The other thing that the new student experience class does is help you learn where the different resources are here. So it helps you learn about study habits, what tutoring is available, what supplemental instruction is available to you. Guys, your parents are paying big dollars for Baylor tuition, and in those tuition and fees includes supplemental instruction and tutoring. Please be good stewards of the investment that's being made in you and use those resources. That's why they're here. And when you have your tour and you tour the Sid Richardson, the Paul Foster Success Center, take the opportunity to tour that area, because I think you'll find that that's really beneficial to know what is available to you. We want you to be successful, and we want to give you those tools to be successful. Now, we have a Student Nursing Association, and it's now called Future Nurses Association. It was called Baylor Future Nurses Association, but it's now Future Nurses Association. And it gives you the opportunity to have a service organization and community that you can serve in with other people that are majoring. So not just freshmen, but freshmen, sophomores, all of the group that's here on campus. And instead of me talking about it, we're going to let Antonia tell you a little bit about the future nurses.
Hi, my name is Antonia Bazzani, and I'm the current president and past service chair for the Future Nurses Association at Baylor. As a club, we do our best to welcome in new pre-nursing students, as well as welcome back year 2 pre-nursing students, by engaging them in activities within the club, bi-weekly meetings, and activities such as volunteering and outreach, not only within the Baylor community, but also within the Waco community. Our meetings consist of relevant information for our club, as well as other things such as signups for study groups, which is super important, especially freshman year when you're trying to get your feet wet in the Baylor community, volunteering opportunities, and different club activities with other members you might not already know. Throughout this year, I got to meet some of my best friends in pre-nursing through the Future Nurses Association, and I really hope that you can do the same by joining us this fall. Bye, see you soon.
And I just want to throw in there that since Dr. Vogelaar and I, we live in Waco, we also have offices here in Waco. We're going to be located in the Teal residence area. And so we are also going to be, both of us are going to co-lead or be the faculty advisor for this organization.
Yay. That'll be really good too. And they do activities with the Student Nurses Association in Dallas. They try to do at least something every semester where they combine, so you get to meet and talk to people in Dallas too. Now, you spent 2 years on the Waco campus, then you come to Dallas to the Louise Harrington School of Nursing. We have 2 facilities. We have an academic facility, and then we have a simulation research building. Our academic building is opened in 2018. We totally outgrew our simulation building. That was our classroom building, and that whole building has turned into simulation, and it's quite an impressive area. Now, this video was made during COVID where we had to have masks on in the building, so your tour guides have on masks. But I think they're pretty loud. We're going to give you a little tour of Dallas real quick.
Hi guys, welcome to Baylor Nursing School. My name is Alyssa and I'm going to be showing you around today.
This is our atrium and it's usually where students will hang out between classes. From here we're going to head into our auditorium.
This is our auditorium and it's one of our largest spaces in the building. This is where we hold big events like if we have guest speakers come to the school or convocation or orientation, this is where you would be.
From here, we're going to head into our chapel. Our chapel has a beautiful stained glass window that was donated by the Childs family, and students can come here to sit in silence, pray, reflect. Baylor provides this space so that students have a place for their spiritual needs to be met.
This is the Barnabas Success Center. This is a place where students can come to study, and it's also where our offices of academic success coordinators are housed. You'll see we have a couple large study rooms that are available for students on a first-come, first-served basis. Students can come and get tutoring coordinated. You'll also see that we have some more lockers, and then we have private study rooms that are available for students. If you need a quiet place to study and be alone, we have those available. This is also where students would come if they have any sort of testing accommodations. Next, we're going to head into our activity room. This is another large gathering space where lots of clubs meet on campus. We also will occasionally have classes held in this room. It's kind of a catch-all space. Students are allowed to study here after hours as well. So it's kind of a hub of student life on campus. Okay, now we're gonna head into our cafe. You'll see it's a space where students can come and eat, socialize at any point during the day. We have very large fridges that are available for student use as well as microwaves. One of my favorite parts of this space is that we have snacks for sale as well as a Starbucks machine that's available for students.
Now we're going to head outside to our backyard.
Back here we have a walking track. That building you see is the Landry Fitness Center, and all of our students have access to that. It's a gym. We also have some picnic tables where students can eat lunch outside, hang out when the weather is nice.
All right, now we're going to head inside to our student services suite. This is where our chaplain, financial aid, career services, and student services coordinators' offices are held. So if you have any questions, the person with the answer is probably in this suite.
Okay, now that we've seen everything on the first floor, we're going to head upstairs where our academic rooms are housed.
Okay, so this is one of our smart classrooms. So you'll see that every table has monitors around it. So whatever the professor projects up on the screen, you'll have right in front of you. And that's perfect because this is where most of our classes are, and the classes are kind of long, so you don't have to be turning around during the whole class. And then we also have these beautiful windows throughout the whole classroom.
In addition to our smart classroom, we also have one other type of classroom. So whenever you have class in the nursing school, it's going to be in one of these two types of rooms.
Okay, we've seen our first and second floors already. We're not going to go up to our third floor, but up on our third floor is where all of our faculty offices are held. So if you ever need to go to your professor's office for office hours or anything like that, that's up on the third floor. And on our fourth floor, the top floor of our building, is where our administration offices are held. But the first and second floor are mainly where you're going to be. And next, we're going to head on down to our Learning Resource Center. So now we are downstairs in our library called the Learning Resource Center. Our LRC is actually beneath our building. So we are in the basement of our building right now. And you'll see we have some awesome spaces for students to hang out and study. We have more group study rooms that are available. This is also primarily where students will come to print. It's our primary printing center. We have student workers that work down here, and you have access to blood pressure cuffs, textbooks, anything you could ever need for class. We also have things like blankets and pillows that are available for checkout, just to make sure that students are well equipped to study while they're here. That's it as far as our academic building. Now I'm going to pass it over to my friend Taylor, who's going to give us a look at our clinical simulation building.
Okay, so this is our sim building. This is where we come for labs, so you learn all of your basic nursing skills, like giving meds, inserting Foley catheters, and then you also come here every semester for your simulation before clinicals.
Spread throughout our building, we have various simulation suites. So this is an example of our pediatric simulation suites. And students will come in here and get practical hands-on experience before they head into the clinical setting. Now we're going to head upstairs to see some of our health assessment labs.
Okay, so this is one of the health assessment lab rooms. So in here you get to learn how to do a full head-to-toe assessment on your partner, and you'll see that there are blood pressure cuffs, otoscopes, thermometers, so you get to learn how to do all of those sorts of things on your partner throughout the first 7 weeks of nursing school. So this is one of our life cast mannequins, and these are very realistic mannequins that you get to practice on. So you'll see that she has a Foley catheter in, and she has an IV line running. So you get to learn how to do basic nursing skills on these patients.
The whole point of our simulation program is to have a safe space for students to practice, and these mannequins are so helpful in getting students prepared to head into the hospitals.
Okay, so that was a tour of the nursing school. So you guys saw the academic building and the sim building, which is where we spend a lot of our time as nursing students. And we hope you guys enjoyed this tour. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Saab Rewa, and I am the chaplain here at the nursing school. Part of my job is to be both a resource and a support to our students. Along with the faculty and staff here at the nursing school, I look forward to one day connecting with you. In the meantime, as you soon transition to life here at Baylor University, with all the anxieties and aspirations that come with it, let me leave you with this word of encouragement. May the Lord bless and keep you as you trust Him. May He give you wisdom as you discern your next steps. May He make known to you the path of life, whatever the situation might be. And may He fill you with hope and with joy as you grow in relationship with Him and with those that are in this journey with you. In Christ's name, Amen.